The internet is chock full of meme songs, but there's one song which has been shared over and over again basically since the beginning of meme culture. This song is the classic Peanut Butter Jelly Time. Now, while the song's success can't be denied, there is a very dark story surrounding the creation of Peanut Butter Jelly Time, which has become urban legend in music. This urban legend has been passed around basically since the release of Peanut Butter Jelly Time. I even made a short on it, and seeing as how that became my most popular short, there's a good chance a returning subscriber found my content through that video. However, some new information has surfaced, leading to new developments in this urban legend, including brand new information from someone who had first-hand experience with the man behind the voice behind the song. So the question is, was that urban legend true? And if it wasn't, what's the true story? Well, today, I'm going to answer that question for you. So please, join me as today we are discussing the truth behind the Peanut Butter Jelly Time song, and I'm going to answer once and for all, who was the voice behind the song? So the urban legend that's always gone around about the song goes as follows. The man whose voice you hear in the song is a man named Jermaine Fuller, who was a founding member of a group by the name of Chipman and the Buckwheat Boys. Now, Fuller had connections to the music industry already, as he was the brother-in-law of Snoop Doggy Dogg. But just a few months after the creation of the song, in August of 2002, a police officer approached Fuller in relation to a shooting. For whatever reason, Fuller fought the officer and shot him twice, grazing the officer's head, but also hitting him in the chest. Fuller took off and took cover in a nearby apartment complex, taking one hostage in the process. This would begin an 11-hour standoff, which ended with Fuller turning the weapon on himself and ending his own life. Now, despite this horrific situation, the song blew up and the meme lived on, with not too many people knowing the truth about what happened to the voice behind it. And this has basically became the most believed story about what happened to the voice behind Peanut Butter Jelly Time. So just last June, I created a short telling you basically that exact same story. Basically, the exact same story I just shared with you is the exact story I shared in that short. In fact, that short is what you're seeing on screen right now. Since that upload, the short has done fairly well, at least in terms of a small channel, ranking in 80,000 views as of the recording of this video. But after 2 months, I received a comment which changed everything. The comment came from a user I'm going to call JIT Base and said the following. It's DJ Chipman 305 who made it, not him, and is from Florida. Y'all so slow, he not dead. I responded telling them that they were incorrect, to which they doubled down. You not from Miami, so you wouldn't know shit. Search up DJ Chipman 305, he's the voice of it, he made the song, he's from Miami. At this point, I doubled down too, to look all cool and confrontational. I ultimately told them that they were wrong, ending that comment with one final, "You're wrong." JIT was still insistent that this mysterious Chipman was the true singer of the song, so at this point, I decided the least I could do was look into this guy named DJ Chipman. I figured it wouldn't take long to prove this guy wrong, so I responded one last time. But this time, I made a bet with this random internet dude. I told that guy that I was going to make a video on the topic, and if I ended up being wrong about Jermaine Fuller being the singer, I would admit he was correct in said video. So, the bet was on. So, thinking that this was going to be easy, I decided the easiest way to prove I was right would be to find the album the song was originally released on. After a little bit of research, I discovered the album that the Peanut Butter Jelly Time song was released on was an album named Uncle Luke Presents Chipman and the Buckwheat Boys. Now, if you're not as well versed in hip-hop history, Uncle Luke was a member and leader of the controversial rap group 2 Live Crew. While Uncle Luke found undeniable success on the mic, his true success came as a record executive and founder of Luke Records, formerly known as Luke Skywalker Records. Side note, that name change was a result of a lawsuit brought forth by George Lucas himself. It doesn't really add anything to the story, it's just a cool fact. Luke has released records on that label for the last 30 years, and is still releasing them to this day. And one of these albums was Uncle Luke Presents Chipman and the Buckwheat Boys, which featured 10 tracks, including Peanut Butter Jelly Time. So all I need to do is buy a physical copy of this release and look at the credits on it to see who the voice was. That sounds pretty easy, right? Well, sadly, it isn't that easy, because this album is official Lost Media. In fact, there's only a handful of information you can find on this album. The only way I learned about this album in the first place was this post on the Lost Media subreddit, which only had a handful of additional information. The poster says this album could have been some sort of bootleg and that only 3 of the songs have ever been archived. He also included some links, with the most interesting one being a review of the album which more or less called it poo-poo. But that does prove this album had to have existed in some form. So with the official album being Lost Media, I had to begin looking elsewhere. And the best option I had was to start looking into the DJ Chipman that JIT had mentioned in those comments. So when I googled the mysterious DJ Chipman, the first thing that popped up was a Twitter page, which did offer me some clues as to who this man was. This account had a very small following for someone who supposedly sang the Peanut Butter Jelly Time song, and also hadn't seen any activity in about 2 years. This made me skeptical, but as I searched through the page, I did find something interesting. The first thing was a link to an article from 2021 covering Chipman, who apparently had a new song titled Beam Ah. I think that's how you pronounce it. But what caught my attention was this line in the article, which said he was responsible for plenty of singles in the industry, including Peanut Butter Jelly Time. Now, this article didn't say he was the singer of Peanut Butter Jelly Time, but it did prove to me that this is the same DJ Chipman from Chipman and the Buckwheat Boys. And that led me to the biggest breakthrough on this story yet. On May 22nd of 2021, Chipman, or whoever was running the Chipman profile, shared a Spotify playlist named DJ Chipman Radio, which featured 25 original tracks from DJ Chipman. The playlist bio read the following, and I'm going to read it verbatim. DJ Chipman, the guy that gave y'all Peanut Butter Jelly original studio version, Ice Cream Cake and Cake I Was in a studio version, Beam Ah, Wu-Tang with it, and all of the dance songs that you love, even made an album just for kids called Let's Dance Fast. So here are most of his songs. So this description is all over the place, but it does say that apparently DJ Chipman isn't only responsible for Peanut Butter Jelly Time, but also Ice Creamy Cake, which you might remember from the classic Baskin-Robbins commercials. Just off memory alone, I see the similarities between the two voices. However, I'm not even able to confirm if he made Peanut Butter Jelly Time. So obviously, I can't confirm if he made the Ice Creamy Cake song. At this point, I had nothing left I could do besides listen to this supposed studio version for myself. Now, I can't play the song for copyright reasons, but believe me when I say, I was shocked. While this was a different mix than the version you see in the classic video, the voice was exactly the same. So since it's not the same version, I was so confused as to what this mix was. Now, if you don't know, Spotify features a section titled Fans Also Like, which shows you related artists that fans also like listening to. And when you look in this section on the Chipman page, you'll find 2 additional profiles for DJ Chipman, as well as 2 profiles for the Buckwheat Boys. And across these 5 profiles, 2 of them featured the Peanut Butter Jelly Time track, and 2 of them featured the Ice Creamy Cake song. Now, I want to explain that this is just one more example of Spotify not being the most accurate tool when it comes to music credits, as if you know how to do it, you can get other people's works on Spotify pretty easily. And seeing as how there are 3 different profiles claiming responsibility for this song, and an additional 2 profiles related to the song, I personally believe that Peanut Butter Jelly Time was just another victim of Spotify's lax security. So at this point, I had basically nothing. I couldn't find any active profiles, Facebook, Instagram, for DJ Chipman. Well, full disclosure, I did find a DJ Chipman Instagram page, but it had some weird stuff on it. I don't know if I'm allowed to show what was on that page on Instagram, but here's his @ if you would like to go see it yourself. But I had one more plan to figure out which of these profiles I could trust. The plan was to use YouTube's very own copyright systems mechanics. So YouTube does allow users to use certain copyrighted songs if the copyright holder allows it. And when that happens, a YouTube video's description will contain a section showing you the song title, artist, as well as the album cover. So my idea was to visit the original video, and since it's not the origin of the song and was just some guy who uploaded it, the description should contain one of these sections, which in theory should take me to the original song, right? I wish it was that easy, but things only became more confusing. The music section of that original video had 2 separate listings, despite this only being one song. One track was accredited to a company named Kids Tunes, while the other track was accredited to a group I hadn't seen in my research thus far. A group named Raylo and his Dawgs. Yet, when I clicked on the Raylo and his Dawgs version, it took me to the exact same video that clicking on the Kids Tune version takes me to. So for whatever reason, both of these credits link to the same video. Just like the Spotify stuff, I was confused beyond belief, but at least I now had a new name to look up. I started looking up Raylo and his Dawgs, and I found a YouTube topic page which also included yet another peanut butter jelly time mix with the exact same guy on the vocals. Yet, I was still personally believing that this was just another unofficial remix. Now, Raylo is a DJ with some respectable clout to his name, and he's been in the game for about as long as I've been alive. I found his personal website, which made it extremely easy for me to see that he was still active. So I visited his Instagram page, and I spent a little bit of time lurking. And that was when I found the following video, which was the biggest breakthrough in this story so far.
Man, listen, them Buckwheat boys, them damn dogs. Chip, what time is it, dog?
It's peanut butter jelly time!
You know.
For the very first time, I was able to find something from Chipman, which was recent. So not only did Raylo have some sort of connection to the Peanut Butter Jelly Time song, but he actually knew the mysterious Chipman. So I knew if anybody could tell me who the singer on the song was, it was gonna have to be Raylo. So I reached out to Raylo on Facebook and I asked him once and for all, was it Jermaine Fuller or was it Chipman? And only a short time later, I received a response. He went on to explain that he and Chipman made the song together, and surprisingly, he had no idea who Jermaine Fuller was. I told Raylo the story of Jermaine Fuller, and he responded with the following. It was just a popular dance in Miami, and we recorded it at Oscar's studio called On Beat Studio in Lake Worth in 2001. It was just Chip and me. We just redid it and are getting ready to re-release it. I know the Buckwheat boys, but not that dude. Chip and I have been DJing all over Florida together since '98. The vinyl we pressed was given to DJs, radio, and record pools. Just talked to Chip and we're both still active DJs. He also included multiple photos of himself and Chipman accepting a plaque together for the song, and even the original records the song was originally released on, released an entire year before the Buckwheat Boys version, thus proving that the Raylo and his Dawgs version is the first and original mix of the Peanut Butter Jelly Time song. On top of it, Raylo sent me a documentary about Florida music which featured this pretty interesting section.
We would take their words that they sang on the song and make it our songs. And one of the guys who I think is excellent as a DJ Chipman.
It's peanut butter jelly time!
Peanut butter jelly was a dance that was popular in Miami.
It wasn't a full song. It was just peanut butter jelly. It wasn't no with baseball like none of that. It was peanut butter jelly.
And I'm like, bro, we gotta make this a real song.
Raylo heard a hit. And I went up there and did.
Originally, we made the song just for us to play as DJs because everybody was trying to follow what Atlanta was doing. Everybody was trying to be slow with the crumb music. And we like, shit, down south, a bitch wants to shake ass.
Now obviously, I was surprised by all this. I mean, the fact that Chipman was in fact the voice behind the iconic song, despite the internet believing a totally different story. Still, I had plenty of questions about the iconic track, so naturally, I gave Raylo my phone number, and within the hour, I received a call from Raylo himself.
Yeah, well, I seen you left a comment. Hey, I'm a YouTube, blah, blah, blah. That's why I inboxed you. I'm gonna tell you what's crazier is like me and Chip, we've read so much on the internet, like the people died that made the song, Snoop had something to do with it, it means this, and these people didn't have a fucking thing to do with it, have nothing to do with it. Me and Chip made it in 2001. And again, it was a dance that was popular in Miami. And at that time, Trick Daddy was real popular, and he went on BET and said it. When I heard him saying it over like a slow beat, I told Chip, we got to do it Miami style. We got to make a fast song out of it. So he put together some loops. I took it to the studio, made it a real song. We recorded it and put it out, and it blew up. We made it originally for us to just play as DJs, because we still DJ everywhere. And like down south, you know, it's fast, booty shake, fast pace. And a lot of people weren't making those kind of records no more. So we did it originally just for us to have and to play.
The version that basically everybody says is the original, and I mean, obviously now I know it's not, but it's the Uncle Luke presents Chipman and the Buckwheat Boys.
Okay, okay. So me and Chip we're still friends. We were friends. Everybody was trying to buy the song from us. We both made it originally. It was both of ours. We both made it. We were both friends. So Luke came and offered him some money, and he took it. So when that happened, I said, well, look, we're not going to fight about it. We're not going to argue about it. You can go and redo it, and I'm retaining the original one that we both made. The one we both made was the one that hit. It was the one that was on all the P1 stations. It was the one that he went and redid it with Luke. That one was, Yeah, there was so many little different versions everybody's tried to make and cash in on. We never got our due credit or anything, and it all started with the gold record that we made. Then the purple one, we made it peanut butter color, the first pressing. Then we made it the jelly pressing was the second one.
Damn. So if I'm understanding you correct, and I think I did, I just want to make sure. So you weren't really involved in the Uncle Luke project at all?
No, not at all. Everybody in Florida knows it's me and Chip, and if you look on a lot of the blogging sites and all that, they always tag me, Raylo 561 or Chipman, from people from Florida. People outside Florida, because see, we're still active DJs. Like I own a bar. We still both have big speakers. We have DJ sets, and we DJ all over Florida at different events. Chip too, you know, and that's my dog. We were younger. We both made business mistakes back then. He did, but we always remained cool, and we were never against each other. He just went one way with it and tried it, and I kept the original one and did that, you know. But the Luke one was weak. But Luke's a marketer, and he knows, you know, how to promote, and he tried to run with it, which he was supposed to. But no, it wasn't like the one we made.
I mean, it's crazy to learn all this. I feel like I'm learning some local shit that you know.
Yep. Well, we both have made different we call them DJ type songs that are popular in Florida, because there's not that many people making that style of music no more. We still do. He has his own songs. I have my own songs that we made. We just re-recorded Peanut Butter Jelly 2 months ago. And I will tell you this, though. Luke and Slip and Slide Records, I believe, are behind probably some of the stories that's on the internet, so people don't know who we are and to forget us and hope we don't ever come after them for money. That's my own personal conspiracy theory.
So first things first, Raylo is the fucking GOAT for talking to me. And secondly, he was able to confirm once and for all that DJ Chipman was in fact the voice behind the meme. I repeat, DJ Chipman is the voice behind Peanut Butter Jelly Time, thus meaning most of the internet has been incorrect about the story for the last 20 years. I expect one of you guys to update the Wikipedia on that. And, you know, maybe mention your boy. All jokes aside, well, those aren't jokes. I want you guys to fucking do that. But I want to reiterate what Raylo had to say about Luke. Raylo believes that Luke and his collaborative companies are behind some of the stories we've heard about the song. And when you think about it, it's really not a bad theory. If you know anything about Uncle Luke, you know he's accustomed to the hustle, and he obviously knows how to promote. So if the internet is talking about your song having this crazy backstory, why not corroborate it? As the saying goes, all publicity is good publicity. I was pretty stoked to know that I had basically the entire story on Peanut Butter Jelly Time, but I couldn't help but feel like something was missing. You see, Raylo was more than open about talking about the course of events which took place during the Peanut Butter Jelly Time era, but I couldn't help but wonder, what was Chipman's opinion? So, I had one final goal, and that was to find DJ Chipman. That shouldn't be too hard, right? Are you guys starting to notice that when I say that, it's pretty hard? Well, you should have realized that by now, because this is where the story gets disappointing. I tried every last way to get in contact with DJ Chipman. Messages, tweets, emails, and one really awkward phone call I don't even want to talk about has led me basically nowhere. I dug deep on the internet. I found every page Chipman has ever owned. I honestly messaged every last person who was a known acquaintance of Chipman, including someone who claimed to be his manager, but I got absolutely nothing in return. Chipman is truly unreachable. Yeah, about that. Hey guys, it's Future Kobe here. I just want to first apologize that my setup is horrid. I didn't really have time to set up because I have breaking news. The legend himself, DJ Chipman, has responded to me. Although it's kind of unique. So during the editing process of this video, I decided to throw a Hail Mary pass and I tried to contact Chipman one more time. So one final time, I left a comment on his YouTube channel asking him for an interview. And to my surprise, only a few hours later, he actually responded. So without my input, you would still release it regardless? Wait, you gonna release a video of peanut butter jelly time? How is that without the true information from me? I was shocked to see this message, mostly because Chipman was actually talking to me, but I was surprised to see how Chipman responded. It seemed as if this was the first time Chipman had heard about my video, which is a shock to me because I've tried so many different ways to contact him. Raylo had even given him my phone number and told him what I was doing, so I have no idea how this could be the case. I mean, I guess it's possible Chip has missed every single time I've tried to reach him on the internet, and Raylo lied to me about passing on my phone number, but I don't see how that's possible. Chipman just doesn't seem like the kind of guy who's interested in being on the internet 24/7. And while I respect that, it's a large missed opportunity, especially being the voice behind quite possibly the most popular meme song that has ever existed. And full transparency, I did respond to Chipman's comment and I basically asked him if there was anything he would want me to include in my video. And he left me on red. Listen, I'm obviously not dissing the guy, okay? I'm not mad at him or anything. I just think he's not as technologically advanced as a DJ of today, which makes sense because he is not a DJ of today. But I do think his lack of an online presence goes hand in hand with why he's not known as the singer of Peanut Butter Jelly Time. Anyways, I'm gonna let Past Kobe take it from here because he has some more cool stuff to tell you guys. So, Past Kobe, what else you got? Chipman's lack of an online presence is probably why nobody knows him as the creator of the song. However, I can't end this video on a bad note, so I wanted to tell you guys one other thing that Raylo was able to confirm to me during our phone call. I did want to ask, there was one song that people say is related, and I know the Buckwheat Boys were involved, and I assume you weren't, knowing you weren't involved in the Buckwheat Boys, but the Ice Cream and Cake song.
That Chip made that after. Yes, he made that after.
So Chip is also the vocals on Ice Cream and Cake.
Yeah, Ice Cream and Cake. Yeah, he made that one. Again, he's just DJing. Both of us are just DJs. We're not rappers. We're not trying to be rappers. We're just doing it Florida style. And he didn't get his due justice with Luke. Same as any other artist that was on Luke Records didn't get paid really. Got peanuts. It was a learning lesson for all of us. It was a learning lesson.
Well, there you have it. Chipman isn't only the voice behind Peanut Butter Jelly Time, but he's also the voice behind Ice Cream and Cake. Two songs which basically everybody on the internet has heard. And yet, nobody knows the name DJ Chipman. And I think that speaks volumes to the thankless job that the music scene can be. These songs have become ingrained in our culture, and yet nobody knows who created them or sang them. Stuff like that has always bothered me, and honestly probably a little more than it should. And I understand that some of you guys might not get why this song is so important to me, but Peanut Butter Jelly Time is so much more than a song. Peanut Butter Jelly Time is recognized and loved by every age, every gender, every race and religion loves this stupid little dancing banana. Now ask yourself, how many other things are truly loved like that by everybody despite their demographic? Bet you can't think of much. And that, my friend, is why Chipman needs to receive his flowers for being the voice behind the song. There was one other thing that Raylo said to me during our phone call, which honestly has stuck with me ever since he said it.
It's just the way of the internet, I guess. and I just educate people when they reach out and ask. But I don't have nothing to prove to nobody because, you know, I know what I did. I know we were the originators of it, and I have records pressed with dates on it to show. And when people find out, they're like, oh, but as far as resentment, nah, you know, it is what it is. We made something that 23 years later, people are still talking about. So when people laugh and call us one-hit wonders, I always tell them, make a hit before you can call me that. You make a hit. Go make a hit.
Despite not getting the recognition he rightfully deserves, he's still pretty happy about having a hand in something that people are still enjoying to this day. Despite his work being older than probably half the people watching this video now, if I was Raylo or Chipman, I'd probably be bitter about this situation for the rest of my life. And yet, Raylo is just pretty chill about it, and I think that's commendable. With Chipman's absence from this project, it's impossible for me to theorize how he feels about the whole thing, and I just hope it's similar to how Raylo feels about it. This entire journey started with me regurgitating some story that's been told on the internet for the last 20 years. And despite the fact it's been told time and time again, it was still false. Ultimately, I learned you should always second guess what you hear, and at the very least, try to fact check it. And if I've learned one thing, I've learned that it's okay to admit when you're wrong.
Okay, if I can ask you, but what made you look into it, being that you're not even from Florida?
Yeah, so what happened was I do like internet stories, like I cover memes and stuff like that. And I learned about the false story of Jermaine Fuller, and I made a short, like, little 60-second video. Like 2-3 weeks ago, somebody left a comment basically saying you're incorrect, and they said Chipman was the one who did this, blah blah blah. You know, I started looking into it, and I told the guy, I said, you know what, if I'm gonna look into this, and if you're right, I'm gonna admit I'm wrong. But I'm not happy about it.